It's important to do an evaluation on a numerical model because it will help you to understand how you can use it in the future and whether or not it suits every type of situation. The advantages and disadvantages to this model, which I'll discuss in this evaluation. Advantages. One advantage of using the numerical model is that it is very suitable to use when you are working alongside elite performers. This is because it is a very in-depth and specific model which gives you detailed analysis through mathematical and physics-related data. In elite sport, it's very important to be able to access these fine details in performance because this can sometimes be the small advantage someone needs to succeed over their competitors. For example, if you are playing basketball and you're able to jump just 2 centimeters more than your defender, you will win the ball and be able to have a go at shooting and potentially scoring because your defenders cannot match the height that you can jump to block your shot. Therefore, having this type of analysis where you can break down performance into fine details is an advantage to both players and their coaches for future reference. Another advantage of the numerical model is that if you are doing the testing in a professional environment, you will have access to a range of professional and advanced technology to measure and test with. This is really important advantage of the numerical model because it gives you really accurate results which will be more beneficial to analyse because you can look into them in more detail, which will help a player and their coach to improve performance faster and to the player's maximal potential. Furthermore, the type of technology on hand to use in labs allows you to look into things such as kinetics and kinematics of the player, which enables you to choose and analyse very fine details which are most relevant to your performer. Alongside this, another advantage of the numerical model is that you can use simple tests and still get results from them. These are easy to conduct within an everyday normal environment, therefore the coach could do the analysis on his own team. To do this type of testing, you don't even need advanced equipment. You can use phones and iPads which make the numerical model really accessible for lots of people at different levels. The last advantage of this type of model is that the model player or elite player who you're looking to compare your performance to allows you to strive towards being something better in your sport. This can be really beneficial if you're losing motivation because you keep getting the skill wrong, and seeing the elite person do the same action could increase your motivation and confidence because you want to strive to be like them. Disadvantages. Alongside there being advantages to the numerical model, there's also disadvantages. The first disadvantage is that the equipment available to use in labs are very expensive. This means it will cost a lot of money to use the lab for the day, making the equipment less accessible for players who aren't in big sports groups and aren't well known. People such as professional football players are more likely to be able to fund and use these labs to do numerical analysis purely based off being a bigger and better known sports group. This makes it harder for people in grassroots sports to get the analysis that they need for their team, and if they do this at their sports centre instead, the result is more likely to be inaccurate. Another disadvantage to this type of model is that the calculations are quite difficult as they are very maths and physics based. This means that you need a high level of expertise in this area to make the most out of your results and translate them into the most accurate analysis. This makes this model limited again to people who aren't very experienced, and if they do the calculations wrong, making a mistake could lead to you concluding with all the wrong results. This wouldn't be very helpful when analysing performance because one thing could look okay and that it doesn't need improvement, but actually it does, and the inexperienced coach just work the calculation out wrong or measured the test wrong. The last disadvantage is that the equipment is only available to use in labs. This really limits who is able to use it. This could be quite unequal and unfair because lots of people want to improve their teams and the players in the sport. However, if they cannot access the right equipment to do so, they will not be able to progress like they would have hoped. Therefore, to conclude this model, there is advantages and disadvantages to it which all need to be considered before you take on starting any sort of analysis of a sport's performance. References.